Hello and welcome to Final Score on BBC One. New boys Burnley were the talk of the Premier League in midweek with their early season scalp. Manchester United have had a chance today to bounce back at the DW Stadium, and watching that and all the other top flight matches are Gary Pallister, Garth Crooks and Martin Keown. Now, before we hear from my illustrious panel, let's bring you right up to speed with what's happened in the last hour and a half or so in the Premier League. Well, Arsenal 4-1 up at Emirates against Portsmouth. They look like they're going to be top of the table tonight. Birmingham 0, Stoke 0. They haven't been any draws in this season's Premier League. We could get our first today. It's Hull 1, Bolton 0. Hull on course for their first win of the season. Manchester City 1, Wolves 0. That match not without its controversies and disallowed goals. Emmanuel Adebayor has put City ahead though and on course for victory. It's Sunderland 2, Blackburn 1. Sunderland have come from behind to lead through 2 goals from Keown Jones. And it's Wigan 0, Manchester United 3. It was goalless at the break, but the champions are back on track with Wayne Rooney bringing up his century of goals for the club. He's actually on 101. It was goalless at the break, Gary, but they've got 3 now in the second half so far. What struck you most about their performance today?
Well, I mean, everybody's asking Wayne Rooney to step up the plate and help replace the goals that we're going to miss from Ronaldo. He's done that today. He scored 2, one a bit fortunate, one a great header. Second half, once they got in front, they've played with much more freedom, and they've thoroughly deserved the 3 points.
4-1 at the Emirates. Beforehand, on the red button, you're talking about being worried about the final third for Arsenal, in spite of the fact that they'd scored 6 last week in the league. You've got to be happy now, haven't you?
Well, I'm a perfectionist, and today it was total perfection. You know, fantastic. Diaby, in fact, coming into the team, scoring 2 early goals. Great crisp passing. Arsenal really on top today, and the future looking good. Some
worrying news both for England and Portsmouth, though. David James has been taken off injured in that match.
Yes, he's gone off limping, and it looks like his knee, and he's going to be out for some time, looking at the state of him going off the pitch today.
Garth, you've had your eyes very closely tuned into matters at Eastlands today for us.
Yeah, I have to say to you, Man City have looked pretty impressive. Lots of the ball, but without hurting Wolves, and they've allowed Wolves to get back into the game. Adebayor on the goal trail, looking very confident. For me, coming far too deep. But what's been really interesting, the centre forward that's really caught my eye is Keown Jones. He's back in form. 2 super goals today, well supported by Malbranque, Richardson. Catamol was very good in midfield. It's been a good performance, and Blackburn were no shrinking violets.
OK, let's show you what's been going on in the Championship. Coventry 0, Swansea 1 at the moment. Swansea haven't got a win this season. They're on their way. All the reports on the Championship game we'll be hearing from very shortly. OK, it's Wisdom against Youth at the DW Stadium this afternoon. The youngest manager in the Premier League against the oldest. Experience appeared to have the edge going into this one. Wigan had never beaten Manchester United in the top flight, and Damien Johnson has been watching it for us.
Wigan 0, Manchester United 3. Normal service resumed for the champions with 7 changes after the midweek defeat at Burnley. 2 goals from Wayne Rooney have provided the platform, as has his link-up play with Dimitar Berbatov, who scored the other goal. Rooney's second half opener, a fine header, was his 100th for United. Berbatov got the second before Rooney's deflected effort off Melchiot made it 3-0. Owen's on for Rooney. It's been substituted 70 minutes into the game. It's 3-0 United.
OK, let's go to Eastlands and a chance for the home fans to admire Mark Hughes' 200 million squad up close and personal for the first time this season in the league. Wolves' victory over Wigan in midweek will have at least given Mick McCarthy's men a spring in their step up north, and Richard Ascombe's been watching for us.
Manchester City 1, Wolves 0. City, who scored through Emmanuel Adebayor early on, should be out of sight, really, Gabby. They've had chance after chance in this game. The latest going to Craig Bellamy, but he couldn't quite steer it into the goal. But the big striker, Adebayor, along with Robinho and Stephen Ireland in particular, have spurned those opportunities. That apart, the home side have played some terrific football. But Wolves, who hit the bar through Andy Keown a few minutes ago, have really come back into it as this half has gone on, and they are by no means out of this game.
OK, let's head to the Emirates. They've been free scoring on the road in the last 7 days. Seems they're free scoring at home as well at the Emirates. And Ivan Gaskell is there for us.
Yes, Arsenal 4, Portsmouth 1. Arsenal strolling to another accomplished victory in the sun here. Portsmouth overshadowed in just about every area. Diaby twice, first half, 18 and 21. Gallus and Ramsey in the second half with the goals. Kabul for Portsmouth, whose disconsolate keeper David James has just limped off. Arsenal 4, Portsmouth 1, 7 to go.
Well, Sunderland's performance got our studio buzzing at Bolton last week. Midweek defeat, of course, to Chelsea might have killed one of their lives. Blackburn Rovers are the visitors today. They're looking to pick up their first points of the season. It's not going their way at the moment, though, is it, Alan Biggs?
No, Gabby, it's Sunderland 2, Blackburn 1. It's a sort of modern-day Beauty and the Beast, this. Blackburn doing the beastly bit, edging the game territorially. But Sunderland and Kenwyne Jones have answered Blackburn's vigorous approach with two absolute beauties, both from Jones, a fine finish on the gallop, from Malbronx, sublime pass, then Lee Catamol's run and cross, superb for a typical towering Jones header. All this after Gail Give drove Blackburn in front at a first half they bossed. A potential equaliser though disallowed for offside, and also just now Jason Roberts rattled the Sunderland bar. This not over, it's 2-1 Sunderland.
Thank you very much, Alan. St Andrews needs to become a fortress, according to Alex McLeish, while Tony Pulis says Stokes' away form's got to improve. Mark Bishop, which is happening?
It's still stalemate, Gabby. Birmingham City 0, Stoke City 0, with the official takeover of Birmingham announced for October the 1st. If Carson Young, the soon-to-be new owner of Birmingham, if he'd been here, he'd be down to his fingernails by now. It's fast, it's furious, no quarter given. Fuller has just been given a yellow card, by the way, for handling the ball over the line from another enormous throw-in from Rory Delap. Kitson and Shawcross have had chances. Fuller has ballooned over, and at the other end, probably the best save of the afternoon. You'll see it on Match of the Day tonight. Sorensen, a fingertip save to deny O'Connor. 0-0.
Could be the first goalless Premier League game of the season. Phil Brown found the gulf between Hull and Spurs alarming, he said in midweek, leaving the Tigers 2 games down and no points on the board. And it's the similarly afflicted Bolton who visited the KC Stadium this afternoon. Andrew James has been watching a Hull revival.
Well, indeed, Gabby. December the 6th, 2008. Don't know where you were then, but that's the last time that Hull City won here at the KC Stadium, and they're on course to get a win here this afternoon. Mind you, it has been the original game of 2 halves. Hull were dreadful in the first half. Match of the Day will show you at least 5 Bolton chances to score in the first 45 minutes, but they didn't take any of them. But it's been one of their new signings, Kamil Gilas, the man from Celta Vigo who got the breakthrough goal, and also Altadore, the substitute, who did well in the Confederations Cup. He's had a good couple of chances too for Hull since then. It's looking much better for Phil Brown's side. They lead Bolton by a 1-0.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Let's talk about Ronnie Lager. He was the goal hero last week for Wigan. Howard Webb's had to restrain him.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked as though someone caught him. It might have been Vidic who caught him. Ronnie Lager was very upset about that. Went for Vidic, and Webb had to physically restrain him. Not once, not twice, 3 times. I was surprised he wasn't booked.
Did he not get a card for that at all?
Well, I think
there comes a point, I think, it was almost like a judo match. He needs to book him at some point, really, I think, just to calm him down. And he didn't, but he dealt with it in his own way, and he's very physical.
Maybe he's going to give him points, not cards. OK, let's go into the Championship, because it's all going Newcastle's way at the moment. They're at Selhurst Park, and Jackie Oatley's there for us as well. Are they still looking good for this, Jackie?
Well, they are at the moment, but Crystal Palace are really pushing. They've dominated this second half, came flying out the blocks. They've had several chances through Ndiaye, Ambrose, and they also felt they should have had a penalty through Ndiaye as Ambrose takes a free kick 25 yards and over the bar. They just can't find the back of the net. Newcastle, well, they came flying out the blocks at the start of the first half, took the lead in just the second minute through a Kevin Nolan close-range volley, and it was a spectacular second from Ryan Taylor. The second half has belonged to Palace, but they can't find a goal, and Neil Warnock is still fuming at several decisions he feels haven't gone his way. Palace 0, Newcastle 2.
I'm worried about Neil. That's the 5th time Jackie said that this afternoon. Ben Jacobs is at the Madejski Stadium. Reading hadn't scored a goal before today. They go and get one. And then, like Boss says, Sheffield United come along and get 2.
Absolutely. Reading 1, Sheffield United 2, and despite Matt Mills' Bullets header, which gave Reading that first Championship goal, it is the Blades who lead slightly against the run of play in an absolutely pulsating game. Stephen Quinn put a tap-in into the roof of the net right on half-time. Henderson then had a disallowed header, while the excellent Singerson for the home side hit the post from long range for Reading. Jamie Ward, though, broke the deadlock for the visitors with a rifled long-range effort, which deflected, and the slight deflection allowed the ball to slip through goalkeeper Adam Federici's hands. He misjudged the ball, but the last 10 minutes have been all Reading, and Sheffield United are camping out in their own area to try and take all 3 points. It's Reading 1, Sheffield United 2.
Thank you very much, Ben. We're going to go to the DW Stadium. Something's happened there which could be significant for this man, for this team, for England even, Damien Johnson.
Yes, Michael Owen has broken his duck for United. The 4th goal. It's now Wigan 0, Manchester United 4. Trademark Owen, really. Lovely movement, found a bit of space. Nani found him, and he flicked the ball past Chris Kirkland for the 4th United goal. It's Wigan 0, United 4.
And Gary, you know, I'm slightly facetious there, but the significance of this for Owen, the confidence, you saw the scenes there, the players looked absolutely delighted for him, didn't they?
Exactly.
And, you know, what could this mean for him and the team?
Well, I mean, it's going to take people off his back, isn't it, for a start? I mean, he didn't start the first game of the season, missed a great chance, played against Burnley the other night, maybe had 1 or 2 half chances, didn't score. All of a sudden, is Michael Owen not the same player that he used to be? I said I saw him against Valencia in a pre-season friendly. His movement was fantastic. You'll see it again tonight on Match of the Day. How he leaves the defender, spins into the gap, now he finds him, and it's a precision finish from the kid again. He's still got that ability to get in behind defenders, and he's still got the pace to cause harm.
Right, the ability to find that space.
Not just
he moves away from the defender, lovely. But the one thing I said at the top of the show was that for Owen, at his stage of his career, it's always been about goals, but more so now than ever before. Alex Ferguson brings off Rooney, who scored 2 goals, by the way, and is playing great, brings him off. United now cruising, brings on Owen. And you can see by the celebrations, everybody's delighted for him in the United camp. OK, let's go to Elland Road at Leeds United, bidding for a 13th successive win at home. Is it going well, Naz?
It certainly is, Gabby. It's now Leeds United 3, Tranmere Rovers 0. Bradley Johnson it was with a free kick. It cannoned off the crossbar, bounced down, and there was Luciano Becchio on hand to head in from close range. They should be 10 up. As it stands, it's Leeds United 3, Tranmere Rovers 0.
Thank you, Naz. Let's go to the Riverside Stadium. Middlesbrough were cruising against Doncaster Rovers. Are Doncaster posing any kind of threat, Steve Sutton?
Not really, Gabby. It's now Middlesbrough 2, Doncaster 0. Remember, Middlesbrough did lead by that first half goal from Tunchai. It came out of adversity. Marvin Emner's taken off with mild concussion. Tunchai comes on as sub. First touch into the back of the net. 70th minute, a beautiful goal from Leroy Leiter across from the right. He brought the ball down with his right boot. One fluid movement, swivelled and volleyed hard into the back of the net. Middlesbrough at a canter. They lead by 2-0.
There could be a bit of a shock on the cards at the Ricoh Arena. Swansea managed a point in midweek, but they certainly haven't managed a win so far. Are they looking good for it, James Mason?
Yeah, they are. A shock indeed. Coventry 0, Swansea 1. The visitors still leading through Ashley Williams' close range second half strike. The goal coming arguably against the run of plays. Coventry have had the lion's share of possession and chances, but Coventry have been guilty of wasting chances, including a first half penalty. Coventry 0, Swansea 1.
Thank you, Dan Rowan. A goal's just gone in at Pride Park. Which way?
It's Derby, Gabby. Looks like they're going to win this 2-1. Miles Addison, the big centre-back, rising majestically to power home a header from Gary Teal's left-sided corner. Derby have been under pressure for the last few minutes, it has to be said. Jamie Mackey forcing a great save from Stephen Bywater, and then a last-ditch tackle from Robbie Savage. But Derby, who started the second half well, recovered, they responded, and now they lead 2-1 with, just 90 seconds left.
Thank you very much, Dan. There was a collective groan from my right. Where was it from? Which match?
Well, Man City Wolves for me. I just
what happened at Man City?
Well, Wolves had a great chance to equalise and they blew it. It's a Man City break. Bellamy makes a very, very bad pass. City hit back. Wolves hit back at them, and they failed to hit the target. Great opportunity.
Cheltenham have got one back. Cheltenham 4, Bradford 5. Bradford before today hadn't scored a goal. They're leading 5-4 with a minute to go. Who knows what could happen in that one? There's a whole minute to go. What was your groan from them?
Well, Hull, I mean, they're trying to hang on now, aren't they, to win this home match, and they nearly conceded two chances for Bolton, and they're just managing to keep them out. There's another throw-in coming in now, so it's all hands to the deck, and it really does look nervy. Phil Brown is running up and down on the touchline, and I'm sure he'll enjoy this if they can get 3 points.
I'm sure he will. Maybe the old Phil Brown will come back.
He looks like he's starting to return a little bit. Looking at him at the moment.
OK, let's go to Deepdale. Steve Lee's been watching Preston Peterborough.
Yes, Preston 2, Peterborough 0, 4 minutes to go. And while Freddie Flintoff, the Preston lad, has been doing his stuff down in London in the Ashes, his local team have been doing pretty well here too. Neil Mellor and Billy Jones, first half goals. And Preston were very effective by half-time. In the second half, Peterborough much better, but they really have had no answer to Preston's all-round superiority. 2-0 Preston.
Andy May was critical of Barnsley's defending earlier on at the Walker Stadium. It's still 1-0 though to Leicester.
Yeah, it's been really poor in the second half, to be honest with you, Gabby. Leicester leading, and it looks like they'll stay unbeaten this season in the Championship for at least another week. Matty Fryer on target on his right from close range after a high ball into the Barnsley box early on this side of half-time. Simon Davies' men did all right in the first half. They've not created anything in the second half. They're bottom of the league, and he's going to be under more pressure if they can't nick a goal in the last minute or so. Leicester 1, Barnsley 0.
We've spoken plenty of times this afternoon, Brian McLaughlin. This will be the last one, I think.
Will be, Gabby. It's finished Celtic 5, St Johnstone 2, the scoreline reflecting what in the end was a comfortable victory for Tony Mowbray's side. 2 apiece for Marcani, 20, Fortuny, Sean Maloney and a Scott McDonald header, the scorers for Tony Mowbray's side. Colin Samuel and former Chelsea midfielder Jody Morris on targets for Saints. Final score at Parkhead, Celtic 5, St Johnstone 2.
And it's full time at St Mirren Park as well. Ian Turner.
7 goals less here. St Mirren nil, Dundee United nil. Not a match I'll be recalling with fondness at the end of the season. Incidents few and far between. Shots on target even rarer. The closest we got to a goal, a Darren Dodge shot that came down off the Saints bar in the first half. A first point of the season for St Mirren. They'll be relieved about that, while United frustrated. They've not made it 2 wins out of 2. St Mirren nil, Dundee United nil.
Well, there's been a last-minute goal, the Majewski. Which way's it gone, Ben Jacobs?
It's Sheffield United who have secured all 3 points. Reading 1, Sheffield United 3. A superb, swerving, left-footed long-range effort by David Cotterill, which nestled in the bottom left-hand corner. And the visitors, who trailed to that Matt Mills header, have scored 3 times. Quinn just before half-time, and then goals in the second half coming from the spectacular Cotterill effort and that deflected Jamie Ward effort. And it's Reading 1, Sheffield United 3.
It's a great afternoon for the Steel City. Alex Gordon-Martin's at Hillsborough.
Yes, a great afternoon for Sheffield Wednesday. It's still 4-0 here at Hillsborough, and a stern lesson for Nigel Atkins' side about the quality of this division. Richard Wood with a towering header, then Jermaine Johnson put the home side 2 goals to the good within 12 minutes. The loss of 6-foot, 7-inch centre-back Rob Jones to what looked like a serious head injury didn't help Scunthorpe's cause, and the day's star performer Marcus Tudgay made it 3-0 at the break. Tudgay really pulled the strings in the second half, and Darren Potter hammered home the 4th from 18 yards. The only negative for the home side was that Luke Varney didn't bring his shooting boot. 3 1-on-1s. It's 4-0 Wednesday and counting.
Well, you write Manchester United's title chances off at your peril. Damien Johnson, what's that now, 5?
It's 5. The final whistle has just gone. 2 goals from Wayne Rooney, which took him past a century, and a first for Michael Owen have helped the champions to get things back on course after that shock defeat at Burnley in midweek. The 5th was added late on from Nani. It was a frustrating first half for United, as Wigan keeper Chris Kirkland repeatedly denies.
Well, is Phil Brown's body language looking like he's chuffed with this one, Andrew James?
Gabby, I think he's a happy man. Hull's first win here since 2008, and it's an Algerian called Camel who stopped Phil Brown from getting the hump. Poor in the first half, Hull rode their luck against a Bolton side that made and squandered a hatful of chances. But Kamal Gilas, a French-born Algerian international signed from Celta Vigo this summer, got a goal out of nothing for Hull. Only the woodwork denied him a second. American sub Josie Altidore looked lively too when he came on. So it's 3rd time lucky for Hull this season. But Bolton's Gary Megson has just risen to the top of the managerial sack race. Ridiculous, I know, but it's now 12 away games without a win for Bolton. Hull City 1, Bolton 0.
Let's go to Eastlands. Richard Askham can tell us whether Man City were lucky with that win. The boys in the studio seem to think that Wolves could have got something out of it.
Yes, Gabby, they certainly rode their luck a little bit. Mark Hughes will know he's got a side with real potential here. He'll also know after today that his team cannot afford to waste the number of chances they had this afternoon. Adebayor took one early on, smashing it at the near post, but City spurned a hatful of others, and that encouraged a gutsy Wolves team who hit the bar through Andy Keown and had other half chances. In Robinho and Adebayor, City found plenty of imagination. If they're really going to challenge the top 4, they'll need to find a killer instinct in front of goal. City 1, Wolves 0.
Nodding heads here with that assessment. Let's go see the Stadium of Light, Alan Biggs and Sunderland Blackburn.
Sunderland 2, Blackburn Rovers 1. It's Steve Bruce's first home win as Sunderland manager, and it's secured the club's best ever start to a Premier League season, and coincidentally it's brought Blackburn's 1,000th defeat in the Premiership. They deserve better today for vigour and brawn, if not for quality. Gaël Givet drove Rovers in front deservedly, but Sunderland answered that with 2 fine goals from Kenwyn Jones, sparked by Steve Malbranc, and the outstanding Lee Catamol. That was cue in the second half for a protest over a Blackburn goal disallowed for offside. Then Jason Roberts hit the bar, and finally Nikola Kalinic missed a great chance in the final seconds. It's been heart-stopping stuff, and Sunderland have won 2-1.
And to St Andrews, no sign of the new owner there, Mark Bishop, and no sign of any goals.
Poor game, Gabby. Birmingham City 0, Stoke City 0, and with the home fans filing out of the ground long before the end, the £80 million takeover by the Chinese tycoon Carson Young on October the 1st probably can't come soon enough. Stoke City, they asked all the questions this afternoon throughout a nervy physical encounter. Shawcross, Kitson and Fuller all had gift-wrapped chances. They should have scored. True at the other end, Thomas Sorensen had to make a brilliant fingertip save to deny O'Connor, but in truth, Birmingham were toothless up front. Final score at St Andrews, Birmingham City 0, Stoke City 0.
To the Majeski Stadium next. Ben Jacobs had plenty to talk about there today.
Reading 1, Sheffield United 3, a match played at a Premiership pace. Reading really didn't deserve to lose. They outplayed the Blades, but without a cutting edge, despite Matt Mills' bullets header, which gave them their first championship goal. It is the visitors who take all 3 points against the run of play. A pulsating game. Stephen Quinn put a tap-in into the roof of the net right on half-time. That was the crucial equaliser. Henderson then had a disallowed goal against his former club, while the excellent Singerson hit the post at one apiece for Reading from long range. Finally, though, it was Jamie Ward who broke the deadlock for the visitors with a rifled long-range effort, which slipped through the fingers of the Australian goalkeeper Federici, and then David Cotterill finished off in style, swerving in a stunning third. Sheffield United stay unbeaten. Reading still haven't won. Full-time at the Medeski. Reading 1, Sheffield United 3.
When we leave BBC One in about half an hour and go onto the red button, you can see those goals. Let's go to Selhurst Park. Jackie Oatley was watching the visit of Newcastle United.
And it finished Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle United 2. Newcastle make it 10 points from a possible 12 thanks to their work in the first quarter of the game. They took the lead after just 103 seconds. Gutierrez on the left found Kevin Nolan unmarked inside the 6-yard box. He volleyed home for his first goal for the club. Ryan Taylor fired a spectacular second, left-footed from 25 yards out. Also his first for the club. And Palace were missing the injured keeper Speroni. They really did miss him. And Daryl Flahaven looked shaky, deputising. But Palace pushed for the rest of the game. They dominated the second half, had several chances through Ambrose and Diaye, Moses and Lee. And they also had a penalty appeal turned down. Finished Palace 0, Newcastle 2.
North East side's going well today. Steve Sutton was in the North East at the Riverside Stadium.
Yes, I was. A sunny day all round for Middlesbrough. 2-0 and as comfortable as you like. The first goal for Middlesbrough midway through the first half came out of adversity. Marvin Emnes, a wicked clash with Neil Sullivan on the edge of the box. He went off on a stretcher with concussion. Sullivan got a yellow card. Tunshai came on. His first touch of the ball saw him unmarked in the penalty area. 1-0 Middlesbrough. They had to wait to the 70th minute for the second. A beautiful goal from Leroy Lita across from the right. He brought it down with his right foot before it had hit the grass. He volleyed it, thundered it into the back of the net. That was 2-0. No more or no less than Middlesbrough deserved. Doncaster not at the races today. That's 4 games undefeated for Middlesbrough and 4 clean sheets.
Well, they hadn't had a league win in 3 matches. Sheffield Wednesday changed all that today. Alex Gordon-Martin's been at Hillsborough.
Yes, they certainly did. Gabby, it's Sheffield Wednesday 4, Scunthorpe 0 here, and a third time lucky for Brian Lords in his attempts to beat the club. He managed to 2 promotions. 4-0 could have been so much more, though, after Andrew Wood, Jermaine Johnson and the day's star performer Marcus Tudgay's first half goals. Luke Varney just couldn't find the net for Wednesday. He missed the last of 4 one-on-ones before being replaced by Francis Jeffers. Darren Potter then put the Iron out of their misery on the hour with a rasping drive from 18 yards. Scunthorpe never really recovered from losing Rob Jones to a first half head injury. They offered very little all day. It's a first win of the season for Brian Laws. Sheffield Wednesday 4, Scunthorpe 0.
Let's go to the Ricoh Arena. This time last week, Coventry were top. They're not now, James Mason.
They're not. It's just ended. Coventry 0, Swansea 1. So the away side record their first league win of the season after centre-back Ashley Williams was the first to react in the penalty box to Nathan Dyer's effort that came back off the bar to score. Coventry will only have themselves to blame, missing a host of chances, including a first-half Sammy Clingan penalty. So it's ended Coventry City 0, Swansea City 1.
Let's go to Deepdale. Steve Lee.
Preston 2, Peterborough 0. No defeat for Preston, no wins for Peterborough so far. Alan Irvine side ruthlessly exploiting the difference in class. Neil Mellor and Billy Jones got the goals. Darren Ferguson's half-time team talk produced a much improved performance from Peterborough, but Preston take the points. 2-0 Preston.
Andy May's been at the Walker Stadium watching Leicester against Barnsley.
1-0 the full-time score. Gabby promoted Leicester, still unbeaten this season in the Championship. Fryer on target early on in the second half. Paul Gallagher also looked good too up front on his debut for the home side. Barnsley barely created anything in the second half. Simon Davey made all 3 subs after kicking off with 4 changes from the team that lost to Preston in midweek. His job is now on the line. No pressure for newly promoted Leicester though. 8 points from 4 matches. Leicester 1, Barnsley 0.
And to Pride Park, Dan Rowan was watching Derby take on Plymouth.
Derby have their second win of the season, Gabby, but they had to come from behind and they left it late, very late. Miles Addison, the man mountain, rising high to power home Gary Teal's corner in the 89th minute to win it 2-1. Alan Judge had given Plymouth a surprise lead. Jake Buxton had equalised just before half-time. Plymouth could then have scored after the restart. Mackey denied by Bywater, and then the warrior-like Robbie Savage. But then came Addison's last-minute intervention, and Derby it is who win it 2-1. Plymouth still looking for a first win of the season. Paul Sturrock already under pressure.
Let's go to Loftus Road. Tony Lockwood saw QPR play Nottingham Forest.
It finished 1-1, two clubs yet to register a first championship victory. The highlight of the opening 45, an outstanding goal from QPR midfielder Mikael Ledgerwood, curled into the top corner from a long way out, that after Forest had bossed proceedings. The visitors levelling just before the hour mark. Route 1, David McGoldrick, who'd spurned the glorious opportunity, atoning for that. Dele Adebola's knockdown, McGoldrick hammered it into the roof of the nets. 1-1.
Andy Barwell's been at Vicarage Road. They've only gone and done it.
Yes, they have. Blackpool have drawn again. 7 goals in this corresponding fixture last season. It's finished 2-2 this afternoon. Watford in control. Tommy Smith's first half goal. J. Emmanuel Thomas of Blackpool levelled it against the run of play. But parity didn't last long. Watford ahead again through on-loan midfielder Tom Cleverley. Gary Taylor-Fletcher, though, scrambled home a second equaliser for Ian Holloway's men. A 4th successive draw for them. Full-time Watford 2, Blackpool 2.
Joe Spates at Stadium MK, where Colchester was looking for a 5th successive win. Did they manage it?
No, they didn't. It finished Milton Keynes Dons 2, Colchester United 1, and an up-and-down week in the life of Colchester has ended with their first drop points of the season. The MK Dons are on top for the first hour, and they hit twice through Jermaine Easter and Mark Carrington. From nowhere, Colchester dragged themselves back into it. Scott Vernon with a header, but it's Paul Ince's side who've won it by 2-1.
Leeds United are flying. Naz Premji's been watching them at Elland Road.
13 consecutive league wins here. It's finished Leeds United 3, Tranmere Rovers 0. Goals from Bradley Johnson, Jermaine Beckford and Luciano Becchio sealing the win here. They could have had a hatful this afternoon, dominating from start to finish. Rovers' poor start continues under John Barnes. It's finished here Leeds United 3, Tranmere Rovers 0.
Let's go to Meadow Lane. Robin Bailey's been watching Notts County play Dagenham and Redbridge.
Notts County won it 3-0. There's a swagger about them at the moment. 13 goals so far in 4 games, and they're back in charge of the promotion picture despite that midweek defeat. They've knocked Dagenham and Redbridge off the top. 2 goals in 2 minutes at the end of the first half. Lee Hughes and Carl Hawley, and then Johnny Jackson got the third. It could have been 5 or 6. A confident debut for Kasper Schmeichel. It was 3-0 Notts County.
OK, don't forget, we're here every week on the red button from 2:30, so you can join us a little bit earlier on. But it's time right now to get the full classified results with Tim Gudgin.
In the Barclays Premier League, Arsenal 4, Portsmouth 1. Birmingham City 0, Stoke City 0. Hull City 1, Bolton Wanderers 0. Manchester City 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Sunderland 2, Blackburn Rovers 1. Wigan Athletic 0, Manchester United 5. In the Coca-Cola Championship, Coventry City 0, Swansea City 1. Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle United 2. Derby County 2, Plymouth Argyle 1. Leicester City 1, Barnsley 0. Middlesbrough 2, Doncaster Rovers 0. Preston North End 2, Peterborough United 0. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Reading 1, Sheffield United 3. Sheffield Wednesday 4, Scunthorpe United 0. Watford 2, Blackpool 2. West Bromwich Albion and Ipswich Town have an evening kick-off. Coca-Cola League 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Stockport County 4. Bristol Rovers 1, Huddersfield Town 0. Carlisle United 0, Exeter City 1. Charlton Athletic 2, Walsall 0. Gillingham 0, Hartlepool United 1. Leeds United 3, Tranmere Rovers 0. Milton Keynes Dons 2, Colchester United 1. Norwich City 5, Wycombe Wanderers 2. Oldham Athletic 2, Swindon Town 2. Southampton 1, Brentford 1. Yeovil Town 3, Leyton Orient 3. In League 2, Aldershot Town 3, Accrington Stanley 1. Bury 0, Grimsby Town 1. Cheltenham Town 4, Bradford City 5. Crewe Alexandra 1, Hereford United 0. Lincoln City 0, Burton Albion 2. Morecambe 2, Macclesfield Town 2. Northampton Town 2, AFC Bournemouth 0. Notts County 3, Dagenham and Redbridge 0. Port Vale 1, Darlington 0. Shrewsbury Town 1, Chesterfield 1. Torquay United 0, Barnet 1. In the Blue Square Premier, Altrincham 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. Crawley Town 1, Gateshead 4. Eastbourne Borough 2, Barrow 1. Grays Athletic 1, Kidderminster Harriers 3. Hayes and Yeading United 1, York City 1. Histon 2, Salisbury City 0. Luton Town 0, Chester City 0. Mansfield Town 3, Ebbsfleet United 0. Oxford United 2, Stevenage Borough 1. Rushton and Diamonds 4, Forest Green Rovers 2. Tamworth 0, Cambridge United 0. Wrexham 1, Kettering Town 2. In the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, Celtic 5, St Johnstone 2. Falkirk 1, Hibernian 3. Hamilton Academical 0, Aberdeen 3. Motherwell 3, Kilmarnock 1. And St Mirren 0, Dundee United 0. In the Ernbrew Scottish Division 1, Ayr United 0, Greenock Morton 2. Dundee 2, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 2. Dunfermline Athletic 2, Airdrie United 0. Queen of the South 1, Partick Thistle 0. Ross County 0, Wraith Rovers 1. Scottish Div 2, Cowdenbeath 1, Alloa Athletic 1. Dumbarton 3, Clyde 3. East Fife 1, Arbroath 1. Peterhead 2, Stenhousemuir 2. Stirling Albion 1, Brechin City 0. And Scottish Div 3, Berwick Rangers 1, Livingston 0. East Stirlingshire 1, Elgin City 1. Montrose 1, Forfar Athletic 2. Stranraer 2, Annan Athletic 0. And in the Welsh Premier, Bangor City 3, Neath 1. CPO Portmarnock 1, Cassous 1. Gap Connors Quay 3, Elements Kefan Druids 1. Newtown 0, Ballatown 1. Prestatyn Town 3, Haverfordwest County 0. The New Saints 2, Carmarthen Town 0.
OK, let's have a little look at the tables then. The Barclays Premier League, goal-happy Arsenal go top after their second big league win of the season. Manchester United also enjoyed a resounding victory today. They've moved up to third. Manchester City and Sunderland also won, leaving the top six all on 6 points. Tottenham and Chelsea both play tomorrow, of course. At the bottom, Portsmouth, bottom of the Premier League. Their only side to have played 3 and lost 3. Bolton and Blackburn are also without a point after 2 games. Everton have the chance to get some points on the board. They play Burnley tomorrow, while Aston Villa visit Liverpool on Monday. Hull's first win of the season pushes them away from the bottom of the table. On to the Championship. And the table makes much more pleasant reading for Middlesbrough and Newcastle than it ever did last season. The 2 relegated clubs have rebounded well so far, both unbeaten with 10 points. There were also wins for Preston, Sheffield United and Leicester, while Cardiff, West Brom and Bristol City have the chance to move level on points with the leaders later this weekend. At the bottom, Barnsley remain bottom. They're one of 9 Championship clubs yet to win. Peterborough, Reading and Plymouth all lost. And Roy Keane's Ipswich visit the Hawthorns in a 5:20 kick-off, looking for their first victory. To League One then, and Charlton and Leeds have both made it 4 wins from 4 today, topping the table. Colchester dropped to third after losing their 100% record with defeat at MK Dons. Huddersfield were 4th this morning, but they slipped to 7th after losing at Bristol Rovers, who are themselves now 4th. Southampton have shaved another point off their 10-point deduction, but they're still 9 points adrift. Brighton are also struggling after another defeat today. Wycombe have slipped down towards the bottom of the table after getting thumped 5-2 by Norwich, whose first win of the season moves them up 3 places to 19th. On to League Two, and Notts County have reclaimed top spot. An impressive start, a 3-0 win over previous leaders Dagenham and Redbridge. Crewe are up to third following a third successive win. Bournemouth's defeat means no club still has a 100% winning record in this division. Darlington still await their first point and are now bottom. Morecambe earned a draw to move level with Hereford, while Grimsby earned their first points of the season to move up 4 places. Bradford also earned their first win of the season by the odd goal in 9 at Cheltenham. On to the blue square table now, and Oxford stayed top after another long win today. They're now a point clear after Altrincham lost and Luton drew. Mansfield are now in second after a comprehensive win over Ebbsfleet. Chester are struggling with that massive 25-point deduction. They have at least made some headway into it after a draw today. But they're 24 points behind Forest Green Rovers, who've now lost 5 out of 5. On to the SPL then, and Celtic lead the table after putting 5 goals past St Johnstone. Hibernian also won 2 out of 2. Rangers can join them on 6 points by beating Hearts tomorrow. Hearts are one of 3 clubs without a point. The others, Hamilton and Falkirk, suffered some home defeats this afternoon. OK, here are your headlines from the Premier League this afternoon. Emmanuel Adebayor is to the fore again, scoring for the second successive weekend as Manchester City keep Wolves at bay. Phil Brown's team talks have clearly done the trick. Hull get their first home win of 2009. Kamal Gilas gets the crucial goal against Bolton. Kenwyne Jones illuminates the Stadium of Light with his goals and celebrations in Sunderland's victory over Blackburn. And the Premier League's wait for a draw is finally over as Birmingham and Stoke share a goalless stalemate at St Andrews. Well, you can see all today's Premier League goals with Gary and the Allens this evening at 10:20 on BBC One. And then after that, at 11:45, Manish and the league team will bring you the rest of the afternoon's goals and address the big talking points. And tomorrow on BBC Two at 10:15, you can see highlights from the matches that are taking place in the Premier League tomorrow afternoon. I'll be joined by Martin again and Lee Dixon for that one. John Motson was watching Arsenal against Portsmouth at the Emirates. And Motty, how good were they for that 4-1 win?
Well, very good, really, Gabby. They were 2-0 up in no time at all through Abu Dhabi, and Portsmouth looked a little bit weather-beaten at that time. But I must say, in the second half, although it looks like a comfortable win for Arsenal, Portsmouth did have 3 or 4 quite presentable chances. The on-loan centre-forward, Frederick Keown, is a real mixed bag. Could have had a hat-trick, actually, but overall, as the game went on, it was almost too easy for Arsenal, and they've made a very impressive start.
Not good news for Portsmouth on the pitch, but you did bring us earlier on a bit of good news for them, at least off it. The takeover's looking imminent.
Well, it is, but before I mention that, David James, Gabby, was taken off injured here this afternoon, so there's a question mark against the England goalkeeping position for the internationals coming up. Fabio Capello was actually here, so he would have assessed all that. Yes, you're quite right. The report I gave earlier, stressing that Peter Storey's consortium, as it's now being called, optimistically expecting to complete the takeover on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Now, obviously, there are a few documents to be signed and bridges to be crossed, but it does look as though at last Portsmouth will have some definite ownership to take them forward. And believe me, they'll need it, because with so many players having left, they're already looking as if it's going to be a struggle to retain their Premiership status this season.
Thank you very much, Motty. Look forward to hearing your dulcet tones on Match of the Day later on this evening. The KC Stadium was a happy place today for Phil Brown, finally getting that win, getting those points. Let's hear from him now.
From your players after the game on Wednesday?
Yeah, very much so. You always want to win your next game, and you know, certainly after a 5-1 home defeat on Wednesday, and the crowd probably thinking, you know, what's happening already. You know, we played probably the best 2 teams in the country in Tottenham and Chelsea, and consequently we got nothing from the game. We know we've got an uphill task where that's concerned. You know, when Spurs' bench can boast almost 100 million on the bench. Yes, they would have been playing in our starting lineup in most games this season, but bottom line is that's what you've got to battle against. Today was a little bit more of a level playing field. Today was about an attitude towards fighting, hard work, desire, drive to get the second balls and play from there. I didn't think we did that successfully in the first half. Second half, I think we got better. Consequently, we played a little bit better football. But yes, it was the tonic that we wanted from Wednesday night's result.
Only their second league win this year. How important for Phil Brown's men to get on their way?
Absolutely massive result for them today, because just the manner in which they fought in this game. Not much football. It was a real battle, and if you think this, I think it's the 4th win out of 21 games or so. It's just not good enough, and he needed to get off to a start today, a good start. It was a reasonable game for them, and now they can build on this, and maybe some of the pressure will go away from Phil Brown and his players.
And Alex Ferguson, he won't show it, but he'll breathe a sigh of relief at least. I mean, I'm sure he never doubted that his team could get goals. But when you lose 2 players who bring in over 40 for you last season, then you do worry a bit, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and after the first half, I'm sure he was worried even more. I mean, they dominated play again, created 4 or 5 good chances. Kirkland was in good form for Wigan and stopped them in the tracks. But again, chances presented themselves and didn't score. So it looked like it was going to be another one of type like the first 2 games were. So he's maybe had words in there at half-time. They came out, and again, it was much the same. They dominated play, and eventually...
He's maybe had words, come on, you know
well,
what done.
Well, no, I mean, they're creating chances. I wouldn't say it was a hairdryer type scenario, but he's probably... he's frustrated. He's seen the chances there again, they haven't put him away. Eventually, it's that man again, Wayne Rooney, who people have been asking questions. Can he score the amount of goals that Ronaldo did? He scored 3 in 3 now. He's got his 100th goal and his 101st goal today, so he's delivering. Michael Owen's then come on as well.
I was going to say, Michael Owen, that's
and taking a few knockers off his back, if you like. So they've scored 5, they've played well enough, and the title challenge back on track.
I think you had Man City breaking into the top 4 in your prediction last week, and you were quite chuffed with that in last week's performance. This week's performance?
Not the same team. I think Mark Hughes will see himself as getting away with that, and I think you'll see a match of the day tonight, Mick McCarthy say he'd be disappointed not to have got something out of this game. You see a Wolves team that gets back into the match, and Man City lived very dangerously towards the last 15 minutes of that game. Couple of chances I think that Wolves should have done better at. Very, very lucky, I thought, Mark Hughes. Well, I just think Mark Hughes has really got a lot of quality, but he's got to get hold of those top players. Robinho, for me, doesn't look interested. So you've got to really get the best out of these players. I know it's early days, but that's the challenge for him.
Not enough bite, perhaps, at the moment. I know Martin wants a leader. I know you want to speak. You can on the red button, but we've got to go. Thank you so much for your company for the moment. There's plenty more sport for you on the BBC this weekend. It's the penultimate day of the World Athletics Championships, and the action is over on BBC 2 right now from Berlin. The Grand Prix season's back after a summer break. Jake Humphrey and the team are going to bring you all the action from Valencia at 12:10 on BBC One tomorrow. Stay with us, though. We're on the red button, and when we go off on BBC One in just a moment, we'll have reaction from the managers and the goals from Reading, Sheffield United. And, of course, don't forget, next week we go on air at 2:30 on the red button, so you could be with us all afternoon. And we won't want to miss that, would you? Martin, Garth and Gary? We'll see you then. Bye.